You know, I think I should probably change my name on YouTube. I should call myself Jake Paul. Because this kind of thing, hey, it's every day, bro. It's like the third day in a row we've made a Pierre-Luc Dubois video because of course it is. This is the hottest topic in hockey when it comes to the trade rumor side of things. And we keep on seeing things pop up that are interesting, at least to me, that I want to focus on. So in this video, what we're going over is an article published on NHLTradeRumors.me, and it's an article talking about how Pierre-Luc Dubois might go to a Western Canadian team. And the three that are being highlighted in this video's thumbnail and title, they're the Calgary Flames, the Edmonton Oilers, and the Winnipeg Jets. So each of these teams, they have their own situations and they're discussed in this article, so I thought it would be cool to go over these situations and highlight what exactly this could mean, how a Pierre-Luc Dubois trade could actually work, and hey, if you're a fan of any of these teams, talk to me in the comments what it is you feel about this overall idea. Would you want a Pierre-Luc Dubois? What would you be willing to give up? And if you're a Blue Jackets fan, what would you want to receive? But without any further ado, let's go over this article over here, because it kicks off by going over the entire Pierre-Luc Dubois situation, which we have covered quite a lot on this YouTube channel. First it was Matt Duchene, then it was Sergei Bobrovsky, then it was Artemi Panarin. It's all these big, high-name, talented guys over there on the Columbus Blue Jackets system that eventually have just up and away left. And now, Pierre-Luc Dubois might become the next one. This article goes over how Dubois might want a change of scenery, and then it opens up by talking about this. TSN's Pierre LeBrun has mentioned that there have been talks between the Blue Jackets and the Winnipeg Jets regarding the Jets' own disgruntled star Patrik Laine. Laine has been in the rumor mill for a few seasons now, and Dubois may be the best fit for a trade. They're the same age and went number 2 and number 3 in the 2016 draft respectively. Laine has put up better goal-scoring numbers than Dubois, which would most likely rule out a 1-for-1 trade. This is the first idea, and it's the one that everybody kind of defaulted to when you heard of the idea of Pierre-Luc Dubois potentially wanting a trade, because Patrik Laine was indeed discussed by the Columbus Blue Jackets, and it was heavily reported so throughout the summer. We saw Laine rumors with Carolina, Philadelphia, Columbus, and all these teams were out here potentially just having conversations about the second overall pick at the 2016 draft behind Austin Matthews. And the article lays it out quite nicely. Laine has had better offensive numbers, Dubois was third overall, so I guess a 1-for-1 value wouldn't really be all too fair. And besides, the Winnipeg Jets would need to make a trade that they actually feel improves their roster, and having a guy like Pierre-Luc Dubois, who could be seen as quite a valuable piece, except the fact is he's a center, he's probably a number 1 center right now, and if you have a team that already has Scheifele and Paul Stastny, what exactly are you going to do there? You're going to play one of these guys on your third line? Yeah, no, that's kind of weird, bro. So a 1-for-1 trade, yeah, it doesn't really work out, the value doesn't really make sense, and plus, the overall situation of how these players fit onto their teams doesn't really make sense either. I mean, the reverse situation kinda does make a little bit of sense. If Patrik Laine goes over to Columbus, you automatically know he's gonna be a first-line player. That's kind of what he wants, but at the same time, hey, it's John Tortorella over there coaching that team. Who knows how lenient Tortorella is going to be for defensive back-checking issues and all that other stuff, which Laine has improved on, but, you know, Tortorella's the guy that got the Sedins blocking shots, so that's kind of all I need to say about that. This article then goes over the 2 Alberta-based NHL teams. It says this right here. Bob Stouffer of TSN 1260 in Edmonton reported last week that the Edmonton Oilers and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will not negotiate an extension during the season. This leaves Oilers GM Ken Holland with a tough choice to risk losing Ryan Nugent-Hopkins as a free agent after this year. Trading for Dubois would immediately save Edmonton $1 million in cap space, with Dubois being signed for next year. Our second idea goes over the Edmonton Oilers, and whether or not Pierre-Luc Dubois and a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins trade could actually suffice. Now, Nugent-Hopkins is in a weird spot of his own. He is a $6.00000 million player who is signed until the end of the 2021 season. Now, he has that year remaining, but the contract negotiation for an extension has been put on hold. We saw this earlier in the week where the Oilers came out and they're like, yeah, we're just going to not do it. We're just going to wait until like the very end of the year and then we'll start talking about it. Because, the Oilers, they have some very good players already and you can debate whether or not Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is even needed. But, Pierre-Luc Dubois is over here making a 5 AAV until 2022. So that's an extra year on the cap for a guy who costs $1 million less and who goes on for another year. The problem is Pierre-Luc Dubois is quite literally 5 years younger than Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, so age is definitely on Dubois' side, and he definitely has room to grow into something more. So if you want to have a 1-2-3 punch in Edmonton of McDavid, Draisaitl, and Dubois, really just push yourselves towards trying to become the newest version of the 80s Oilers. You could go out there and get a guy whose timeline of success, the timeline of his prime, aligns with the timeline of the primes of McDavid and Draisaitl, etc. Because, let it be clear here, McDavid, even though he's already one of the best players in the league, if not the best, he's gonna get better. So, that's crazy to think about, and if it's a Pierre-Luc Dubois who is getting over there, maybe a 1-for-1 even works here, who knows? If the Columbus Blue Jackets acquire a guy like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins because, hey, this is a guy who you could trade for, you might be able to lock this guy down long-term, who knows if you can just shell out a whole bunch of money for him because you have the ability to do that. Remember, Columbus didn't end up paying Sergei Bobrovsky huge money. They didn't end up paying a Draisaitl or a McDavid huge money either, like the Oilers are. So if it's money that the Nuge wants, hey, maybe Columbus is the team to give it to him. Who knows? And finally, we have ourselves one more topic. It is indeed the Calgary Flames. Take a look at this paragraph over here on the same article. The Flames have been long rumored to wanting to shake up their core. The Calgary Sun's Eric Francis mentioned many times last season that if the Flames made a move, it would be Johnny Gaudreau that would be the odd man out in Calgary. Gaudreau is also signed until the end of next season with a cap hit of $6.75 million a season. The contract lengths of Dubois and Gaudreau expire at the same time. Having Dubois in Calgary would allow the Flames to move Elias Lindholm back to his natural wing position. And there's another idea right here. Pierre-Luc Dubois for Johnny Gaudreau. And obviously this is just one source pulling a different piece of information we had from different teams and saying, okay, could we see a fit here? But it makes for an interesting topic, having a Dubois-Gaudreau swap. If you're in a position where you're super adamant that Liam Foudy is the next best thing and he's going to be the hottest thing in Columbus by the time he sets into his prime, hey, why not go out there and try to get him a nice partner to play alongside of him and Alexandre Texier, I guess. Having a Gaudreau-Foudy-Texier line in a few years sounds like it would be pretty cool. And if you have a Pierre-Luc Dubois in Calgary, all of a sudden, hey, those issues of Sean Monahan being the number one guy and not being all too reliable, yeah, no, you have Dubois now. That would be pretty good if you ask me. Also, it would mean that the top 4 picks of the 2016 NHL Entry Draft would all end up in Canada, and on separate teams too. Matthews would be with the Leafs, Laine would be with the Jets, Dubois would be with the Flames, and Puljujarvi would be with the Oilers. And that's kind of why I like having this weird discussion, because even if you go to the 5th overall guy, hey, Olli Juolevi is in Vancouver, and then Matthew Tkachuk is in Calgary for 6th overall, and then things get weird at 7 because, hey, Clayton Keller was a thing. But it's kind of funny, right? Having all of the Canadian teams swooping over the top few picks of that 2016 draft should this idea come to fruition. But, if it's Johnny Gaudreau for Pierre-Luc Dubois, I would think the values are sort of equal there. It really does depend because both of these contracts do expire around the same time, and they're both just a hair under $2 million in terms of the dollar value discrepancy. And hey, if it's Columbus, they have the opportunity to go out there and spend some money. They saved up for this kind of thing, right? So talk to me in the comments what you think about this whole idea. Would you be interested in seeing Pierre-Luc Dubois with either one of the Oilers, the Flames, or the Jets? I certainly would be all for the maximum chaos that would arise if it was a Patrik Laine for Dubois trade or whatever, or if it was Nugent-Hopkins for Dubois, or if it was Gaudreau for Dubois. That'd be very funny to look at, but, you know, talk to me in the comments what you think. If you're a fan of any of these teams, would you want Dubois on your squad? What would you be willing to give up? And if you're a Blue Jackets fan, hey, what do you want from any of these other teams? Tell me in the comments all that stuff and more, because obviously this is the biggest topic in NHL trade rumors today, right? So it's kind of fitting we talk about this for the fourth day in a row. Oh my goodness, let's check up on the channel. How many days has it been since we actually started making these Dubois videos? 4 days ago, still wants a trade. 2 days ago, oh, it's the Habs trade. 1 day ago it was the update, and then now it's another video. Oh, earlier yesterday we had the Boston Bruins one too. Yeah, so my gosh, it's huge. Talk to me in the comments what you think about this video. Hope you enjoyed. So to that, Troll 99, and bye.